Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Richard. Welcome to Barnstormer Dickie, and this is my 2001 motorcycle Suzuki GSX1400, and today we're going to go back to the future. Let's go back to see what life was like in 2001. Certainly from my perspective, but I'd love to know what your thoughts are. This bike was kept in a barn for 24 years, and as you can see, she's in really good condition. There's a couple of little things that need to be done, but generally speaking, she is bloody fantastic. The motorcycle has done 2,800 miles. You can just see there, 2,800 miles. Let's just make sure that's doing what it's meant to do. Oh, let's get on board this little girl. The most technical thing on this from a user's perspective, let me just say hello to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're well. Don't forget to subscribe. Bloody subscribers, stop freeloading. If you're not subscribed, bloody subscribe. I'm giving you away my time for free. Come on, I need you to subscribe. I'm nearly at 10,000 subscribers. And apparently something magical happens when you hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't know, maybe they'll get in touch with me and shake my hand. Probably not. Probably not. Maybe I'll get a bit more money from the mediocre pay I get every month. This truck's coming up, here we go. Oh, there you go. There you go. So, while I'm here, there we are. I'll sync up the two cameras with that beep. So, let's go for a ride. What was I saying? The most technical thing on this bike compared to bikes of 2026, it's March 2026. The most technical thing on this bike is the Trip A and the Trip B. From a user's perspective, there's nothing else. It's back to basics on this GSX. Absolutely back to basics. Let's go for a ride. I'm wearing my Ride Iron kit, Ride Iron jacket. You can find these links in the description. I've got my heated gilet on from Ride Iron. Absolutely fantastic. I use it for walking the dog in the evening as well. So it's got multiple uses. I like things that have multiple uses. This jacket's lovely. The prices are great. And in March 2026, I can see that no one's spending any money. Visor down. It appears that no one's spending any money because of the fear of this US, Israel and Iran conflict, war. Call it what you want, I don't know. And the price of fuel is going up, but that's where we are in 2026. We all know that. So, 2021. In 2021, I used to live in an area called Bradway in Sheffield. Lovely area. I ended up moving there in about 1997, 98. And used to live in the area of Frechville in 2000 in Sheffield, and I moved away from there because the area was going bad to worse, so we moved away and went and bought a house in Bradway in 1998 or whatever it was, 1997, and bought that house for £70,000, 2003, 2004, sold it for £230,000. That's when things were started going crazy. Average pay apparently for 2021 was £19,000 or £20,000 in the UK. Here are the tax bands, if you remember them, of 2001. You used to pay tax from £0 to £1,800, is it? If you earned up to £1,800 a year, and that was at 10%, and then the next band was for normal earners, which paid 22%. I'll have flashed a screen up on that. 2001, people had one holiday abroad. Now they have 3 or 4 holidays abroad to Tenerife or Spain or wherever. Yeah. In 2001, I think this bike was about £6,500. If you calculate that forward today, taking into inflation, to 2025, 2026, that works out at about £12,000. There you go, that's interesting. Nightclubs. Nightclubs were an interesting thing. In 2001, I believe now the nightclub is on the demise and a dying entity, where the folk of today just cannot afford to pay for the beer once you get into a nightclub. So the nightclubs are on the way down, so I understand. But we used to go to nightclubs, and there were the days before the smartphone. And before the smartphone, you used to go up to girls. Not that I did, because I was married. You used to go up to girls and start talking to them. And before you knew it, you'd got a relationship going. And you know, you'd either have a relationship and break up, or you'd have a relationship and maybe live together and then get married and have kids. And that's when you know, people had kids. Although the demise of English or people from indigenous to the UK, the demise was already there in 2001 of how many kids people were having. It wasn't enough to sustain. It wasn't enough to sustain a population in the UK. The population in the UK at that point in time was some 58 or 59 million people. Now it's 70 million, so over 25 years we have increased by 12 million people. However, the indigenous folk of the UK have stopped having kids. So most of those people that have come in, most of those people that have increased the population to 70 million are people that have been immigrants into the UK. There you go. The rise of HR was starting in about 2001, where rather than being a service within an organisation that looked after your staff and all that kind of rubbish, it turned upside down and ended up looking after the legals of businesses. So they're not really here today. HR doesn't do what it used to do. It used to look after the business and prosper the business moving forward, but today it's more a legal entity to stop anything happening to the business. There's HR. I'm not a HR specialist. In 2001, I was working in IT, and I still do, and we were at the cutting edge. We were writing software that was really well and truly tested, and it worked brilliantly. It did work brilliantly. Now the case is in 2026 that you get software and it's full of bugs, and that's why it gets released. You know, you get new software out every month or whatever to cater for the crap that people have written in the modern day era. And it is crap. The software is crap. It was about 2001 that I met up with Mark at work, and since then we've been good buddies and ridden motorcycles since that point in time, or thereabouts, together, and been over to Europe and the Alps and all that good stuff, and maintained a really good friendship. 2001. 2001, you could go into a Costa Coffee or whatever it was that period of time. You could go up to a woman in Costa Coffee or Starbucks and say hello to her, and then start a conversation. And if she was single, then maybe you would go out again and build up a relationship, get married, have kids. Now in 2026, 25 years later, I guess if you go up to a woman now, you're seen as a bit of a pervert. How did you get to that point? How did you get to that point where you struggle to go and say hello to a woman because you fear that she might see you as a bit of a pervert because you're not swiping left or right to meet someone? That's bizarre, isn't it? It's amazing how technology, IT, has created that dimension in society where no one trusts anyone anymore. Quite unbelievable. Quite unbelievable. How do you feel about that? Do you think, I'm not swiping left or right, I'm with incontinentia. But do you feel that you're constantly swiping left and right to meet someone new? And is it effective? I don't know. Here we go. – 2001. Yep, average pay was about 19 or 20,000 pound. I don't remember that. Then again, that said, I guess I was on a fairly good wage. In 2001, I was managing a team for a company called Accenture, and we were writing bespoke software, and they were great times. Accenture. They were the days. What were you doing in 2001? What were you riding? Whoops, turn the indicator off. What were you riding in 2001? I'm currently on my way to the Potteries Motorcycles and Scooters Centre, Burslem, Staffordshire, and I'm going to be having a chat with what bikes I'm going to take out for reviews for you to watch in the future. As I said, if you're not subscribed, your subscription would be great and really help the channel. If you ordered some ride iron kit, that would help too. I've not sold any ride iron kit this year. None. Which tells me that people have already gone and got it, or they haven't got any money, or they're very, very cautious about spending money. What do you think? Are you cautious about spending money at the moment? You tell me. Let's just wait for this blue Audi. That's a nice colour. Different. This GSX1400 is as smooth as a baby's bottom. Can you say that anymore? That's another thing. Language has changed, hasn't it, since 2001? You used to be able to say things. It wasn't that long ago that I was at a Christmas party and I said, I used the reference she to reference a lady that was some 20 metres away as I was talking to this other lady about something, and I said, she was doing this and she was doing that, and I ended up in a bit of an argument with this lady that I was talking to because I shouldn't be calling her she. I don't recall that happening in 2001. You tell me. I had an argument with someone a year or so ago at a Christmas party for calling or referring to a female as she. And the ultimate end of that was I actually went up with this lady I was talking to, went up to the lady that I was referring to as she, and I said, I need you to confirm something. Are you happy for me to call you a she, or do you want me to call you a giraffe, or a dustbin lid, or what? What do you want me to call you? And she looked at me like I was galactically stupid and said, of course I want you to call me a she. There you go. And that's another thing. I've been called passive-aggressive at work. Passive-aggressive? I don't know. I never got called passive-aggressive in 2001. We got the job done. Yeah, we got the job done. And if there were problems, we'd sort it out. And we'd sort it out as we would sort it out. Absolutely bizarre. How things have changed. 2001 seemed to be much simpler. It really did. You tell me what your experiences were. Incredible times. Incredible times. As I come now to the end of this video, I hope it was thought-provoking. I hope you enjoyed the ride on the GSX1400 that's 25 years old today, registered in 2001. And registered in 2001 and has been stuck in a barn for 23, 24 years. And has got now 2,811 miles on the clock. And the engine is as tight as a nun's crotch. Oh, can you say that now? I'm starting to not care anymore. Loads of future content coming for 2026. Come and join me, and I'll see you soon. Ride safely, and give the video a like if you would. See you soon. Ride safe. Bye bye.